everyone, Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters. I hope this lighting is okay. I'm chasing the sunshine outside. It's getting a little bit late here, but I really wanted to get this video up before the end of January, and it's very hard for me to find time during the school holidays when there's enough quiet to record. So this is my top 10 layouts of 2018. It was really hard to choose just 10. I had a lot of layouts that I loved, a lot of layouts that I loved for sentimental reasons, a lot of layouts that I loved for just the layout themselves. So I found it really difficult to narrow it down to just 10. So I'll start off with my first one, Hello 9 Weeks. As you can see, this is the ultrasound photos for my second little one. So I love this one for sentimental reasons. I love this one because I absolutely love this collection. This is the Cocoa Vanilla Love Actually, I think it is, collection. I was really into the wreath sort of idea. This is the first time I've ever used real flowers on a layout. Pros and cons of that, you can see they are quite squashed within the page protector, but you might have a tip on what to do with that if you put them in page protectors. Otherwise, I'm kind of okay with it. You know, it's life, it's real life. That's how it works. Someone recently asked me for some information on the watercolors and things that I used. I will 100% include that for that person in the comments on this layouts video, and I will link any of these that I have processed videos for down below. So there's that one. This is a scrap lift of the amazing Audrey Yeager, and I also did it as part of the International Scrapbooking Day this year. One of their challenges, I think on the Kidaholics Kits Facebook page, I think it was the challenge that was maybe a tic-tac-toe challenge possibly. Anyway, I watercolored the background, cut out this sort of triangle shape and stuck it on, and the rest, as you can see. Little man showing me that there was a plane up there. Really just love the way, I think this watercolor part down the bottom stands out. I think for me that's what sort of caught my eye the most. I hadn't done a lot of using two different types of thickers before, so that was sort of new for me, and I really liked doing that. My collection of thickers and things is starting to grow now that I'm doing a lot more scrapbooking, so I think that helps with the way my layouts come together. I don't feel like I'm using lots of bits and pieces. It's more of a cohesive collection, if that makes sense. This is the I Am collection. I really just loved the look of including like this tissue papery stuff around, and I loved the idea of doing a photograph of myself that was I suppose self-gratification, I guess, for want of another way of describing it. We don't often take time to think about what's important about ourselves, which is what the I Am collection was all about. And I could have done more, as in more information about me, but like a lot of us out there, I find it a little bit challenging to come up with a lot of things that I am that aren't, you know, I am organized, which is a compliment. There's nothing wrong with that, but this kind of, you know, I am beautiful, we don't say that enough to ourselves. So I thought I'm just going to keep it simple and leave it at that. And again, these little resin flowers, I don't usually include those in a layout because they're quite chunky, but I'm doing less. I've given myself permission to scrapbook less this year to stay up to date, and I'm not up to date. It's 2019 and I'm only up to October, but I am far more up to date than I was at this time last year. And I think, you know, that's the first real positive step, not feeling so overwhelmed and enjoying my scrapbooking. This is, I suppose, a scrap lift. I mean, it is a scrap lift, but when you use a cut file, it's a little bit limiting as to how you do it because the cut file sort of explains what to do. So this is again from the I Am collection, and this is Paige Taylor Evans, Paige Taylor Evans collection. Jane would be her daughter's name, don't know where that came from. yeah, cut file that I use to create all these little circle squares. They're circles that you fold up to make squares. And I just really love that effect. It's so striking to your eye. I think using a collection of papers that already goes together makes it super simple because you know the color scheme works. And I just love it. I just think it looks great. And I just love the love between Grandpa and Jack. Scrapbooking Fun. So this is the first time we've sort of let little man sit down and scrapbook at the same time as we are scrapbooking. He obviously does crafts and makings and things like that, but yeah, it's the first real time that we'd sort of given him supplies and let him join in, because he hadn't really shown a lot of interest before. So that was really exciting to have him sit down with us. I mean, he lasted a whole 10 minutes, but that's not the point. And I was starting to get into stitching, so I really loved this crazy background stitching that's going on in this layout. This is using the Wild Heart collection. So this one is technically also using the Wild Heart collection, but it's only like 3 bits. Most of it is this shaker pocket that is not really any collection. The sequins are from the Kitaholics Kits August kit, and the little pineapples I actually cut out of a random project life card or pocket page card that I had, but I overfilled it trying to use all of my bits up, and it doesn't really shake very well, but you get the idea. And I really love just that difference, adding that sort of strangeness to it. And then the background, I did this twice in a row on my layouts, and they both look completely different. I put texture paste, and I put embossing. I'm like, what else did I do? White embossing through a stencil. And when I heat gun my texture paste, it sort of makes it go just a little bit puffy. I don't know if all texture paste does that, probably, but I've only ever had one. So, and I really loved that. I loved that effect. So then when I whitewashed it, went over it with the watercolor paints, that doesn't stick to the embossing or to the texture paste. So the stars sort of pop off the paper a little bit. So a nice subtle background. So I really loved that. My very first layout for when Thomas was born, again with the stitching. This is definitely a scrap lift, but I can't actually remember who it was from. Someone that shared on the Paper Issues Facebook page, design team member, I'm pretty sure, but she was amazing. Anyway, and all these embellishments are actually from a gift card that we were given from the birth of our little man. So love that. This was using the Field Notes collection, and this was a recipe challenge, I do believe. Either a recipe or a blind, where you're like, we were given a set of things that we had to have, like certain papers cut in a certain amount and torn to a certain amount, a certain number of embellishments we were allowed to have. You had to include a journaling card, had to include 4 layers behind your photo, had to include 2 different types of thickers, that type of thing. And then we were told how to lay it out. Put a piece of paper here, put a piece of paper there. So I just really loved the way this turned out. I made these little snails out of the swirls that came with the thickers. I then just sort of added on a little tail and dots, and then the 2 enamel dots for eyes. And I went over the Sharpie parts with Dimensional Magic, just to make it look like it was that same sort of shininess that is on the thicker itself. So I stuck the swirl that is part of the thicker pack onto white paper, then used a Sharpie to create like the head and the eyes and the little squiggle at the back, and then went over the head and the eyes with Dimensional Magic, and then those 2 little black eyes are obviously little rhinestones. I hope that made sense. Grumpy Giraffe. I don't know why I love this one so much. I think it's all the stitching with the different colors and the brightness of the page, and these I've had in my stash for about 10 years, I reckon, and I finally had a page I could get them on, and I just love this little effect up here. I don't know, the yellow, maybe yellow makes you happy. I just really love it. I guess because he's super cute too, that helps as well, doesn't it? This, I have a process video for this coming up. It hasn't come live yet. And this is using my homemade kit, so there. This is a scrap lift. This is my final one. This is number 10. This is a scrap lift from the amazing Virginia, who is Golden Dove. Ooh, I'll link her down below anyway. She's incredible. She did this similar layout using an Ulta New Flowers die, which looked awesome, that I loved. So it's like 3 different layers of paper that are also popped up on foam to add dimension. Yeah, what can I say? I'm obviously using Shimmel. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. What is this? What is the collection called? Little You, which is just super cute. Used a lot of the sticker book, a lot of bits of ephemera, a little bit of the washi, a little bit of the packaging. So yeah, that's it. I'm not really 100% sure what you wanted me to tell you in this top 10 layout video. Hopefully that. I hope you like seeing these layouts. I really enjoyed making them. Thank you so much to our amazing subscribers and people that comment on our videos and leave us loves and just, you know, show us that the time and effort we put into making this is worth it. We really love each and every one of you, and thank you very much. And there'll be more coming up in January. All right, bye everybody.